I got something to show you here. Holy hell, you won't even believe it. I mean, unless you got one, then you might believe it. I can believe it because I got one, but you might not. This thing is handier than pockets in your underwear. And if you ever been standing in a laundromat with your last pair of breeches thrown in the washing machine and that had got your last 75 cents in the pockets, you'll know how handy pockets in your underwear would be. Because this thing, if you got to take off more than 2 hoods in your life and maybe a couple of trunk lids, well, I don't know why you don't have one of these. Seriously. I mean, I have one of these, and look at me. So why don't you have one? You should get one. I guess you don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? Just a second. I'll show you. Look at this little cheese eater. Just look at it. Look at it, would you? Look at it! I found that on, it was on eBay. And it was cheap. That was cheap. I live in Canada. That was $135 Canadian. Do you know what it is? Let me tell you what it is. It gets that off of there. And it uses this to do it. All you got to have to operate that is you got to get you a engine and transmission firewall smasher, and that hooks onto this, and it does that. Let me show you something. So I work by myself because I got no friends, and I'm not looking for friends, so just don't even offer. And I got to do a lot of shit. Do a lot of shit by myself. So I don't know what I was looking at. Probably Instagram or something, and somebody had a picture of this thingamabob, what he made, and he was to take hoods on and off. And I looked at it, and holy shit, was it ever a nice thingamawhat's that he had there, what he made. Really, he was bragging because he made this thingamabobber. And I looked at his pictures of it, and holy shit, was it ever, like, it was overboard. It was TIG welded and hand polished and sent her out for paint, powder coat, and chrome. That's how nice it was. And I had a look at it and I thought, if you come up with that thing off the fly, right off the top of your head, you must have made 14 of them before you come up with that one. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, no, you copied that from somewhere and then you just made a TV presentation of it. So then I got to looking and I just started Googling. I phoned up Captain Google and I says, hood lift, got a bunch of stupid shit. Hood taker on or offer, bunch of stupid shit. One-man hood removal. Bingo. And I found this. So what we got here is we got one of those. See that? Can you see that? So that guy's got a bolt in it. Yeah. And he just slips in here until that bottom's out there. And you just take you a nice shiny chrome wrench. You could most likely want to use a ratchet and a socket, but I don't got one on me. I got a wrench on me. And then you zip this guy down. And what it does is get on there now. It just wedges the guy onto the end here. Yeah. So this is, this is how I bought this thing. I had to put these lower arms on it, but I mean, it was even red. I haven't done nothing to it. That's a lie. The only thing that I have done to this is I put the rubber on it so it doesn't scratch a painted hood, and can you see it? I welded a washer to it up here because the first time I used it, there was no way to control your hood swing. So what happens is this guy moves. Hey, see that? Holy jumping Jehoshaphat. And then the legs here, are you going to be able to see the legs? Oh yeah, there they are. So the legs here, you can spread the legs and you can just get right in between them legs. Whoa! But those are adjustable. We got a swing. But there was no way to keep the hood from getting away on you. So I welded a hinge on up there, and then all I do is I hook a ratchet strap to it, and then hook that to my firewall smasher. So then, I mean, it'll hold it. Yeah. Let's look at this turkey in action, because I'm telling you. So you get her near where you want to be. Oh. Now look at how big this hood is. It's sizable. Oh, what are you going to do? Who are you going to phone? You know what I'm saying to you? So, yeah, I mean, you need friends. You got to have friends. Nobody likes me, so this is handy. See, you just kind of swing her in there. Okay? You're going to want to pick her up to where you need to pick her up to. And I mean, this sucker works as high as your engine crane goes. Jack her off a little bit. Squeak her in there. Spread her legs a little. So depending on how much room you got up there, you might have to do a little bit of finagling. But I ain't never had it not work yet, and I done it on plenty of. So you get her in there. Then you kind of spread these guys apart a little bit. Get her where you like her. You kind of want it. You want to spread them out a little bit, because if you're too skinny in the middle with the legs of this thing, well then your hood isn't as stable. Whereas if you spread them out a little more, well then you get a better thing with the stuff. You know. So yeah, get them where you want them, just like you like. And then you just start picking it up. So I would say by looking at it, our weight is off. Watch out. If you're taking hoods on and off, leave your base bolt. Your base bolt being this far bolt. Do that one first and do that one last. Reason being, when you take that rear bolt out of any hood, I don't give a shit what it's on. I just don't care. Don't even bother telling me, because I don't care. As soon as you take that out, your hood's going to want to teeter-totter on this front bolt. And it can get, and it'll just get away on you. So leave that front one and do that back one last, because it anchors the rear of that hood down and puts the weight of the hood on the hinges. There's our hood sitting there with no bolts in it. See, and then like I said, it's just going to want to bugger off on you. So you give her some of this action. Okay, now that's holding her there. Can you believe it? $135. I don't know who sells it. I don't know who makes it. I don't give a shit. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just showing you. Huh? Huh? Holy hell. I mean, look it. It's like a magic trick. Son of a bitch. Can you believe it? The first hood I did with this was a 7.5 Camaro. You know how big a hood is on a 7.5 Camaro? It's about 13.5 feet long, and it weighs about 1,000 pounds per foot. You know how heavy that is? It's pretty damn heavy. And I think the highest, most ignorant hood that I've done with this was on, done some work on a 2000 and something or other Dodge truck. You know, 4x4 lifted up and everything. And I mean, this thing will go, it'll go as high as you want it to go. But holy shits. And when I say holy shits, like I mean holy shits. You see what I'm saying to you? Can you believe it? You know the biggest benefit to this thing? I don't got to pretend I like people anymore. You know, and that's worth something. That's worth something. Hey, buddy, how you doing? You look good. You been going to the gym? How'd you like to come on over for a beer? And give me a hand with a hood, would you? Yeah, I don't got to do that anymore. Hey? I've used this thing in a couple of previous videos, but I never really said much about it. So I thought I'd do a video and say a little something about it. We're friends, me and this guy. I mean, that's a hot potato. Did I mention I got it off eBay for $135? That's $135 Canadian. So wherever you are, that's probably like $18 or something. I mean, you get change back from a 20. And once you get that hood painted, well, you just reverse the procedure. Oh, gosh darn it, dang it, gosh darn dang it, flim flam it. So, yeah, that's it. This was just a short little public service video to say, look what I got.